what you dream. It's the way that you make those things reality. You see, that's the magic to me. M-I-N-O-T, now you see. Life ain't always just what you dream. It's the way that you make those things reality. You see, that's the magic of me.
Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode. This is our official episode 3. Yeah, baby. Can't believe it. Anyway, this is our second person we're interviewing, and this is the person who created this lovely image here you see behind us. This is our logo, and we are introducing someone who's near and dear to my heart because he's basically helped create the magic in my shop. But anyway, that being said, this is a new guest for you.
I've known EJ just around town a little bit, and I know he's done a lot of art around here, and he's going to talk about that. But what he's done around here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
So
fantastic.
EJ, you want to tell us, basically,
Oh, first introduce his name. What's your full name?
Yep. So EJ Rose, and I'm also on Facebook as Ernest the Artist.
Ernest the Artist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, then go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to tell us, EJ, how did you, I guess, are you originally from Minot?
I'm not. I've been in Minot since 1995, September of 1995.
That's like over 30 years.
Yeah,
It is. The year I graduated.
That's the year I graduated too.
The year she graduated. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a couple of years before that myself, but I'm originally from up near Albany, New York, about 30 miles east from upstate.
Hence the
It's like
Mets.
Schenectady
Yep.
area.
Yeah, Troy, Schenectady, Albany.
I know that. I've been there.
East.
It's gorgeous.
And yes, Mets fan because where I grew up, we had a minor league team, and I stuck with them. I didn't bail.
Sure.
So it's been brutal for that, but it is what it is. So yeah, Pittsfield Mets way back when. Then they moved to Brooklyn, But yeah, so been here when I was in the Air Force.
Okay.
Air Force,
yeah,
military. Shout out to military. All you military guys, we love you all.
Yeah.
Thank
What
you.
did you do in the military?
Interestingly enough, I began. I did a couple years out in the missile field at Delta. Was my primary one in the 740th. Interestingly enough,
So Delta, as in
Delta 1, like
Delta. Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
MAF missile
MAV
Earth
site.
facility.
Yep. MAV site. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. I used to in construction. I used to actually work on a couple missile silos.
Okay,
So yeah,
yeah, you may have been. Well, no, you graduated high school in '95, so.
this would have been about 99. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there when construction was being taken place way back when, it was being upgraded from, into something more modern. So, but interestingly enough, the tunnel that goes underground
Okay.
and the capsule, the vault and everything, I actually painted,
Oh really?
the whole elevator shaft and everything.
Really?
Yeah. So I actually was painting for the Air Force long before, I took a brush to Minot, and that includes some stuff on the base as well, interestingly enough. And at Charlie 1, I did some stuff there as well.
But
So-
before you came here to Minot, did you go to art school or
I
anything?
did. I went to college in Massachusetts,
Oh.
and I was a theater. Well, first I was a visual art major,
Okay.
and I switched to theater art.
That happens often, so don't feel bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I did 1 year as a visual art major, and then I switched to theater art major, and then I didn't feel like I was going to probably do much like long term, so that's when I ended up joining the Air Force.
So okay, so that was your story. I was wondering how you got from art, because I mean, art's been in you forever, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's been So I ended up I didn't go straight from high school to the Air Force. I had 2 years of college first. Prior to, and it was interesting because, all these years later, I ended up doing more with art here in Minot than I ever did, during college.
Yeah.
Cool. So you end up in Minot. So tell us about here. How long were you in Minot? Did you leave and come back? What's your
Actually, I
story?
did for about 4 months. And during my duration in the Air Force, in 1997, I met who is now my wife, Nikki, who's been ridiculously supportive.
She's amazing. She's
yeah.
at Nikki. Shout out to you. You are an amazing wife, not only to him, but a mother to his sons. But she's always with you. I mean, anytime you need to do something, and you have crazy hours. now.
Very,
But
yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to throw that in there. It's
Mhm.
absolutely true.
Yep,
Yeah.
without her support, I wouldn't have been able to do as much as I have. So, but yeah, and then we actually went to our plan was I was going to go to school in Florida was where I was hoping for. Close by Orlando was the plan,
Hmm.
but things just kind of went a little bit sideways. We were in Massachusetts for about 4 months, and we were gonna save up. So, and is what we were gonna do. And we went to Montreal, Canada, with some friends one time, and Nikki lost her license in Canada. And this was prior to 9/11. So luckily,
Yeah,
Sure.
but even then, she couldn't. It was tough for her.
Right.
sure.
She ran, so she ended up coming back here, and then about a month later, I ended up following suit, and we ended up having our daughter
Nice.
in May of 2000. Matter of fact, she just turned 26. Matter of fact, and things were moving along, and at the time, Minot, the Magic City, was working for us, right?
Hmm.
And we decided to stay. And then of course we had two more. We had two boys since that time as well. So it's been expanding quite a bit. So yeah, there's been a lot. There's been a
Awesome.
lot that's
And you've
transpired.
never wanted to leave ever since then. You feel like this has been home now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's we've settled. We've
Yeah.
settled good, and I've created. Interestingly enough, I've created so many working relationships over these years, and so much of it has been tied to the art
Sure.
community as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. And would you say that you feel like now that you're here and you clearly are, established, you feel like you need to go to another city now? Do you want to? You have
I mean,
desire?
you know, I don't know if things ever turn out that way. I mean, we absolutely love Tennessee, actually, Eastern
Oh,
Tennessee.
interesting.
There
Different landscape, totally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're in love with Tennessee so much. I mean, we'll, we're open to things if they end up materializing, but we're
Mhm.
not pursuing. If that makes
Sure,
sense, you know what I
sure.
mean. There was a time like around COVID when things were getting crazy, and people had to start making decisions. I did actually notice there was a theater in Eastern Tennessee that was hiring for a charge artist.
Mm,
So scenic artist. But as I researched the theater, it looked good. But I also researched like the town that it was in and
sure.
things like that. And honestly, the Magic City
It's
seemed to
still
be more
stuck with you?
favorable
Yeah.
compared to what I was, seeing there. So
So, what are the things that you find more favorable about like the Magic City, aka Minot? What I guess what kind of outweighs?
Well, for on an artistic standpoint, believe it or not, even for a small town, this town has a rich artistic environment and community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son, Jameis, he's also a very, very good artist. And he actually got a scholarship just for his artwork, down in Eastern Tennessee, by the way.
Okay. Right.
It's crazy coincidence.
Sure.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, he was even saying, telling me that, down there, he was saying like, wow, it's interesting that the community and the connections in Minot were so much stronger than
He can see the difference in the
yeah, he
younger
could see it
generation.
and feel it, yeah. So, he would, and this is coming from him, and he can recognize those things very, very
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not just local businesses and people and the engagements, but also, we have MACA, Minot Area Council of the Arts.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's it's
The
there.
Tobby Museum is a very well
Oh,
receiving
Yep.
incredibly, yeah. I absolutely,
organization to artists, young artists, new artists, emerging artists.
Right.
They have
yes,
gallery openings
Yep.
yes.
and it's insane. Like
What's
I've
cool is it's within 4 blocks
yeah,
right here.
was
Yeah.
right here on Main
Oh yeah.
Street, right at
Yes.
the other
Yeah, I
end.
mean, downtown Minot is really pretty much the heart, and give a shout out to Minot State as well. They
Absolutely.
have a
We have a
very good,
huge art
yeah.
community downtown.
But yeah, I mean, to your point, Christine, it's Hobby Museum. I absolutely love them. I've been able to engage with them and create a really, really good relationship with them. So Rachel and Wendy, absolutely love them. And I continue to do a lot of things that are connected with them in many different ways as well.
Talking
So
about that, actually, I know EJ a little bit more. Let me talk. Let me
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about now. Now that you're established, you're in Minot. So you've been doing a lot of art for a lot of different organizations and a lot around town. Can you give us like a little bit of a laundry list of what you've done? Not just like working here with me, but like I'm talking about the organizations
yeah,
and what you've been asked to do and commissions and all those different things.
so yeah, as far as organizations and tie-ins and things like that, without having my, I guess, prepared notes with me so much, but off the top of my head, in no particular order, definitely some nonprofits that I've been able to engage with and continue to. So, for sure, probably Museum of Art.
Hmm.
And then also where this all really began for me, believe it or not, was with what's now called Full Steam Ahead, but way back when.
Yes, Allison.
Yes, Allison Hawk
Yep.
and Lindsay and them. They was where a lot of this began for me, believe it or not. And as a nonprofit, Mask, Make
Hmm.
A Scene Kids Theater. So
Yes.
it really began with that, and that's where it spread. It was crazy how it really began. Also, Source Valley Animal Shelter,
Hmm.
SVAS. I got connected with them, and I do a lot of work with them. We just had a gala that I did a big backdrop for them, actually last year, but we had the second gala just recently, a couple months ago. Also, Independence Inc. For the
Yes.
disabled.
Yep,
I
it's a
did a
huge
big thing for.
nonprofit. They have the chili cook-off every year. I've been on that.
Yep.
Yep. So
Yep.
I did stuff, and then just I not so much nonprofits, but of course, here at Magic City Hoagies and Sweets, have a incredible connection. And then
I know you
also,
did one that I'm gonna say that he got a part of that Visit Minot was a part of. Tell people about that. That
yeah,
was fantastic for the
so
community and for
the
downtown, Corey.
Yeah.
yeah, the mural on the back of this building and was from a grant that they had, and they did an open
There
call.
was like 5 different artists, right, for that
Yes,
grant?
there
Yeah.
were 5 of them. So let me give a little shout out here off the top of my head, and so four more in addition to myself. So we have Max Panzer. I hope I said his
Mhm.
last name
Art
right.
by Max
Art
is
by
what he's
Max.
known as, like,
Okay.
your Ernst the artist, he's like Art by Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Art by Max.
Yep.
Yes. He's got his mural just down the same alley. And then also Rachel Alfaro from the Tubby Museum.
Mhm.
She did a fun little like almost like it's kind of like almost like a Where's Waldo, but it was slightly different than that. So she had some things hidden. And then also Mackenzie Plouffe did some sculptures,
Mhm.
and then also Jasmine Schultz.
Oh,
Uh,
she came up again too, second
yeah,
time.
yep,
That's what Dakota was talking
Right.
about how she was a musician, now she's doing creative art too.
yep.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah, she did, like these they were like these kinda like I'm gonna say sculptures, but they were very, they're like, yarn work type sculpture
Oh, I saw
things.
those. Are those the woven
Yeah,
ones?
yeah,
Okay, yes,
yep.
yes.
So and they were hung, just down the street here,
Off of Main
for a
Street?
bit. Yeah,
Okay.
in front of the drop zone.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think they're there anymore, because the weather would take
Sure.
its toll,
Sure.
but they were there for a while. So, you know, but yeah, we did the Magic City mural, which I really enjoyed. So, and we'll see, where things
So
go
really,
from
a
there.
person could take a walk after,
Yeah.
or whatever, and just actually go down the alleys and see all these
Yeah.
murals.
Actually, and visit Minot, who sponsored well, they didn't sponsor the grant, but they're the ones who applied for the grant, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So that's how you got asked for it. I know they do like a map, so you could probably get a map
Sure.
from them if you want, like a walking tour map, because I know that's one of the biggest things
Okay.
they like to push on people
That would be
through
a
the
cool
community.
thing to do.
Yeah, with
on
your
some-
kids
Yes.
Yeah.
or your
Yes.
family or out of
Right.
towners. Yeah, totally. Because some people don't realize that art's always being updated too, and there's new
Right.
art always being like there's one that was just put up over there too, off of what is that street right there?
Central
No, the next one over. Is that First?
First Street.
Right there? So there was new art there. So things are being added all the
Oh, yeah,
time.
yeah.
So it's an updated list.
Sure. That's Melinda's place.
Yes.
Yes. We had sushi the other day.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Downtown is a fantastic spot,
Mhm.
for these things. And, I'm fortunate enough to have an art studio here in the heart of downtown,
Yes.
which
Mhm.
makes life easier. I do a lot of work at,
Ooh.
um,
We're closed, guys.
Yep.
Sorry.
This is live, by the way. So this
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good.
It's
This
okay.
yeah.
yeah. But I've done a lot of work at the Mouse River Theater as well. I've done a lot of theater work here. Matter of fact, tomorrow morning I will be doing some things that are related to a theater production coming up here soon too.
That's right. You do a lot of theater backdrops. People,
Really?
if you've seen this theater at Minot State, all the way up until like Mouse River Players to Mass Theater, like there's different things he's done throughout the years. I mean, some of them are fantastical.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing.
Yeah, it's been interesting, you know. So and I know that I'll be doing some more with Mouse River Theater coming up sometime too. We've already had some chats about that. So it's been an interesting journey, you know, and going back to like when we talked about mask theater, you know, everything I like to say it's been a tree, like and things have rooted and then the tree branches have kind of
Nice. I love that analogy.
yeah, you know, and the weird thing is it all started by I'm gonna say a kind of a chance encounter with my son Eli is where it
Really?
began. So years ago when he was in second grade, I'll try to kind of shorten some of the story up, but the short story is that he ended up I know someone who was a costume designer at Minot State at the time. Her name is Connie, and Connie Gilsleth, and so she had asked me if my son, who was in Cub Scouts at the time, was selling wreaths and popcorn because she
Yep.
wanted to buy some. And she was a theater instructor for kids. Matter of fact, they were actually at that time they were located right across the street here in that building.
Oh, really? The new,
at
the
the
new city
hall.
hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is now the city
The
hall.
new city
Yeah.
hall, which
Yep.
used to be the old Wells Fargo.
Yep.
Yeah.
So way back when they were housed there, and so I brought my son Eli to, you know, and she was having a class with some kids for theater, and he was getting a kick out of what they were doing.
Aw.
And so what happened is, and so she let him join in for like the last like 10 minutes or so, you know, and this was for mask theater for the kids. Well, he really got a kick out of it, so he wanted to sign up for theater class.
Oh, he got
With
the theater
mask.
bug then.
Yep. So he did. So we enrolled him, and you know, and that's how I got into meeting, you know. And what happened is, he decided he was going to audition for an upcoming play that they had called Busy Town. This would have been like I think 2017. So what happened is he got a part, and one day I picked him up from rehearsal, and at that time they moved to across the street from Mouse River Theater, so which is it used to be like the old Chicago club.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
They moved there.
Yeah.
Like they even did the Pangea house there
I think you're
sometimes,
right.
and then
Okay.
downtown in the that's where I went to that one
Okay.
that they had here
Way back
downstairs.
when.
Yep, way back
Yeah,
when.
yeah, it was really interesting. So and then I picked him up one day from rehearsals, and I noticed that they were painting some flats for the set coming up, you know, and I just happened to make a comment. I just said, "Hey, if you guys happen to need help painting, you know, I could totally help you out. Just FYI, you know, and just
No, you just threw it
volunteer
out
and
there.
be that
Good for
there."
you.
Right.
A couple days later, I get a phone call, you know, a text
Fantastic.
message. You know, hey, do you think you could help us with some painting? We, you know, we're kind of stuck on this thing, you know. So I go in there, and they're like, "Well, yeah, we're trying to get this, but we can't." You know, oh yeah, I got it, totally got it. You know, and then I think you know, I even had my friend, my son Jameis, come in and help me for a second. I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna. Well, next thing I know, like a couple days later, I get keys to the theater. And then I ended up creating this huge, like I'll call it like the centerpiece for the play. It was the play was based off of a book, a children's book.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to figure out, you know, okay, well the set is good and everything, but you know we need something for the roof of the library. So I created this huge book with the logo coming out and
I was like,
everything, right? You know, and that was like the
Right.
centerpiece of the whole
Nice.
set. So then, like after that was done, you know, Lindsay and Allison said, you know, hey, do you think, you know, we have Alice in Wonderland coming up
Oh, so it's just for
for
snowballs.
fine theaters, and you go, you know, you think you can paint for us for that set, you know? And I said, well, if you get me in early enough,
Uh-huh.
we can do this. Well, interesting enough, tree branch, right? So what happened is they ended up connecting me with a director named Kenneth Davidson.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a s- give me a
I
s-
know, I know, I know.
So
I'm very aware of Kenna Davis. I worked with Kenna too.
so it was, you know, her and I left because you know she didn't know me, and she's very meticulous, and she's, you know, she's really into theater.
She's a triple threat theater
Yeah,
actress.
she is just amazing.
And just for everyone knowing, and my heart's going out to the family right now, and I understand where EJ's coming from. She's a friend of mine too. and she's not with us any longer, but she was an amazing talent.
Very,
And
very.
that's actually how I met EJ.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
that's why
She
this is a
branch.
very
She
this is
branch.
a very
Mm.
important thing.
Yeah, and I got to meet her, and we did Alice in Wonderland, and it was a collaboration with Mask Theater along with Minot State Summer Theater. It was a collaboration. And from meeting Kenna, I that branched into so many other
Yes.
things as well, including here, as Christine said, all this artwork here came essentially from a text message from Kenna way back when.
Yes, because I asked her and I said, "Hey, I'm looking to make this place magical. I need an artist. I don't know anybody. You're more connected than I am."
Right.
Again, I'm not from here, so I only know so many people from whichever way I know.
Right.
And the next thing I know, she's like, "I know just the person." I said, "Okay, go ahead." You have to be kind of like you have your vision, and then artists have their vision. You just hope that you gel.
Right.
And EJ is probably one of the easiest people I've worked with when it comes to artists. And I've worked with a couple different artists in different respects, even from my past life, what I used to do before I moved to Minot. And I will tell you, he's very easygoing. He understands the vision and he's meticulous. Like, I mean, look at the art that he did here.
Right.
I said, "Could you do this?" And you did this like literally within the week.
Within a
Literally
week.
within the
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
He did this.
How many hours would you say that took, EJ?
A lot.
Yeah.
It did. The
And it
first,
doesn't look
yeah.
it doesn't look that drastic, but when you get
No.
close to it and you see it, we're gonna talk
Yeah, it's
about that.
meticulous. Yep.
I'm telling you, he did a fantastic job.
Yep.
The dedication, the eye. As a matter of fact, talking about something else I thought was really interesting, segueing art, which I don't want to cut this off from Kenna, but
Yeah.
the art behind EJ, we've touched on in our first episode.
Right.
And next thing I know, I don't think you realize, but we incorporated some of EJ's modern art with the older art that used to be here. And this building used to actually be another business that's where that art came from.
Okay.
So he cleaned it up a little bit with some of the glue that was on it from the slat wall, but he made it look magical again and he created it. So we still have art from someone else from a previous business.
Sure.
We incorporated it into our business and it's still here and we're able to still celebrate that.
Right.
Which that's what cool about him is that he'll be able to take something and say, "Oh, I could see it this way, that way, that way." And he'll take some of our information.
He'll take his vision and
Yeah.
yes.
That's why you get so many commissions outside of here.
Yep.
Not just associations. He's
Yeah.
working like a dog.
Yeah, it's funny. I really like this too because what I really like about this here is that I like to say that this entire wall here, I say it's half restoration
Sure.
and half, like
Reimagined
new
almost like
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
this right here, this was a restoration job.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was.
from there on was the new stuff.
The new stuff.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I had to restore, the original
So
stuff from there.
when you added onto the stage, Christine,
Mhm.
you made sure not to cover up one
No,
key
no,
factor.
no. There's no there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
art below this. It's all
Yeah.
like the reddish.
Yeah.
But this, no, I actually made sure I had to have it. And actually the person who painted the original art, his
Right.
tag is right there.
Which I wanted to get at is make sure the
Yeah,
tag is
yeah,
there.
yeah. But
That's-
I don't even know the guy. So if anyone knows who that guy is, man,
Right.
tell him to call us up. We'd love to have him on here and tell us about story about this. Because this used to be the International United Pantry.
Yes.
And that's what this says is United. We took off the pantry part, which is not there anymore, but the United is here. So we love that part. I think that's a really good focus because I think Minot and downtown has become United a lot more,
It
especially
is.
with like the resurgence of like the facade program that's helping the fronts,
Mhm.
the beautification with the downtown, the new Citizens Alley, that, and everything, and all the new businesses opening and the art that's flourishing.
Right.
So I think all of that is why I love that word. It really does bring
Yeah.
a lot of joy
Yeah,
to this
and
area.
it was really fun to do too, because like as you could, you could kind of tell, but maybe not. I don't know, but like this was originally done with spray paint.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
This is a
Yeah.
true
Yeah.
graffiti artist.
yeah, and of course, but we can't spray paint in here. So when I had to like restore, so to speak, like this part of it, it was our brushwork.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Which
I
I like
kinda
is
give it
the
the
brushwork that you gave is the dripping down.
well, and even here.
Okay.
Yeah. He went in. He had to
Oh,
retouch
wow.
some of the glue.
Okay.
Some of the glue
Yeah,
took off
'cause-
the paint, and he had to retouch. He had to
Sure.
match the color.
Yeah. So yeah,
You
color
wouldn't know.
matching,
Yeah, he's
you know,
he's a
yeah.
true artist,
Yes.
guys.
Yep.
He's legit.
But
Yeah.
even the like like canvas paintings that I've done has even come from the theater stuff because what had happened is after we did Alice in Wonderland,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which was a huge hit, and it worked out really, really well. But the next one after that, we did The Jungle Book, and we did
Yes.
that out of town. Oh man, forget the name of the place now. Oh, it's called I can't remember. I'm gonna say it wrong if I mess it up, but it was an awesome little venue. Um,
Was it in Minot or outside of
no, it's
Minot?
just outside of mine. They used to have little music festivals out there. Gosh, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Animals?
No, 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 no.
We
Oh,
Fest?
somebody's gonna mention it, and
Okay. If you guys are watching this, let us know. Put in the comments when we have this, and
Was
let
it up
us know
north by Botno?
no, it wasn't too far from here.
what he's referring to. If you went to this,
We fest.
We Fest. I said We Fest, but I don't know if that's
We
it.
Fest
Fest.
is over in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm
Oh,
talking about. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, I forget.
It's all good.
Okay, it's not, I forget. I forget.
Yeah.
But it was a cool venue. It was an outside thing, and it was
Yeah.
really, So what had happened though is we did a little like, I said, okay, so I did 5 different canvas paintings of like of concept art for a backdrop, and kind of just chose which one was going to become the backdrop. So what had happened, and then what we did is we auctioned off those canvas paintings for fundraising.
That's
for the charity.
fantastic. See, that's a great idea.
And so she picked the one that we did, and they got it. They made a huge print, and that became the backdrop and everything. But what had happened is from those canvas paintings, that started springing additional canvas paintings. Like, so I did it, someone reached,
Mhm.
hey, can you, and then like a friend of mine reached out and said, hey, do you know how to paint dogs? And I'm like,
Yes.
I could try. I never painted a dog before. And I've probably done like 100 cents over the years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like dogs have become like, yeah, like, so a lot of pets and things. But yeah, but again, that tree, right? And it just
Yep.
branches out so much. Same thing with, Tobby Museum. Had these things not happened, I wouldn't have ended up getting my studio because I got really busy at home and I ran out of room.
You can't schlep all that around. I mean, he's got like scaffolding. This guy,
Yeah.
this guy's got stuff still up here for my stuff.
Right.
So when I tell you you can't do that. You can't travel everywhere and bring everything. You need a studio, which would be cool. Didn't you guys have an open door once with your studio?
Yeah, yeah, and once again, big props to Nikki, my wife. What had happened? Yeah, we it was a fundraiser actually a couple years back for the Tobby Museum. They did a tour around the holidays, and
Mhm.
and it was different things that were um like holiday themed decorations,
Mhm.
and then so a couple studios became part of that, so
That's so
Rachel
cool.
reached out, and below me at the time, someone else, Wendy Kimball,
Yeah, she's
who,
very big in this community.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, we got to have Wendy on soon about what she does too
oh
outside of
yeah,
her art.
that
She's
would be
got
good.
other stuff that's cool, guys. We'll talk about that later.
Good one, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good call too. So Wendy had a studio at the time below mine, because it's 3 floors, and so she was doing the holiday thing too. So, I was like, yeah, we can do that. Well, it ended up being where my other son and I ended up traveling back to New York to see some family at the same time that this was taking place, and I had already had everything ready to go. So my youngest son Eli and my wife Nikki went to the studio and took care of everything.
That's fantastic. They
So
open the doors.
Good deal.
So I want to pivot on something really cool that EJ, just because EJ is an artist, he does have a regular job. He does work, but he also still like gets involved in things. There's something that he's probably going to have to be announcing later at some point that he's working on. That's kind of a big deal, but he can't talk about it. Would you be okay? I'm not going to say anything else, but when you find out when you can announce it, will you allow us to if we don't see you? Or could you want us to bring you back on and talk about it?
yeah, I mean, when that happens, it's gonna be a little bit more than or less than a month. A little bit less than a month from now is when
You'll be
that's
finished
supposed to
working
be.
on everything and you get the announcement that you'll be able to.
Yeah, I think that's
Right.
when they're gonna like present it, I believe,
Yeah, yeah.
is mid June. So, and of course by the time this gets, it
Right.
would be, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's something that Christine and I have actually already talked about. It was actually funny because she had brought it to my attention first, and then it became more of a public thing, as far as
Work
the
around
project.
was yeah.
So once that happened, I got so many messages from other people saying, "Hey, EJ, you should check into
We don't want to
this."
give it away yet, though. But I have a question for you, though. What are you working on next after this? Because let me. The reason I'm asking is because I don't know what this year has to do with anything else for you. Like, if are you going to be having like, are you going to be performing? I know it sounds weird, like
Sure.
performing, but are you being somewhere? What are you doing?
So
Because I know you worked last year with the Toros, the Minot Toros, the
yeah,
Minot Toros, the hockey team, guys.
yeah, lots of
Last year you did something special then, but like, are you doing anything like that this
Any
year?
exhibits or
Yeah, good question. So, uh, for the remainder of this year, I guess that's as far as the current to-do list
Well,
or
the summer, I
whatever,
guess, at this
yeah.
point too.
So right now, so tomorrow morning, matter of fact, I'll be heading over to Minot State, to do some, work for a theater production for Chad and Angela Schneidley, that I'm going to be helping them out. It's not.
They're a huge part in the theater community.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, yep, very much. So I mean, it's not like it's a smaller flat. We call it in theater a flat, so it's a 4x8. So I'm gonna help them out for something. After that, I have, I could probably say this much. I mean, it's not, but Maverick Law Firm over by the hospital. Interesting enough, I'm going to be doing a mural on in their conference room. That's
Awesome.
next, like,
Yeah, that's a
big thing.
commission, your big one.
Yeah, that's gonna be,
Are you doing anything downtown?
well, so we
That's
do
what I wanna know too.
On June 11th for the Levitt in the Citizens Alley
Oh,
area
the same thing Dakota's opening up the week before.
the week before. Yeah. So for
Fantastic.
him, so he's the week before, but I'm the featured visual artist, not musical artist,
Oh,
visual
okay.
artist.
Visual.
So I will be there, for that. Also too, uh, you know, hopefully the weather's on our side, I'll say. But right behind me, outside, I should say, but there's that right by Chaos Games here. There's that wall that is going to end up having a little fall
awesome.
put up there. We have a fun little design. So it's already been primed. I'm gonna probably throw another primer coat on it.
Fantastic.
But so we'll be doing that. Then of course there's a thing in June that
Yeah.
we'll be talking a lot more about. I do know that I've committed to some things for theater. In the fall. At Mouse River here, so we're gonna be doing some work with that. But yeah, it's just kind of an ongoing thing. I have already committed someone who I've connected through this hobby. I do some work for her, which is interesting. She has me. I do paintings for her, and she takes those paintings and turns them into, like, for instance, Christmas cards, birthday invitations,
Yeah.
Easter
Cool. That's pretty
cards.
cool.
So I'm
like
going to be
it's
doing her
It's like
Christmas cards.
curated art for a person. It's
Yeah.
great.
And it's interesting too because you said how like diversity and things, but she's got a very particular look and style that she goes for.
Sure.
So and a lot of that too, and Christine can say firsthand too, because like for me, I don't just like get in there and like okay, just throw something on there.
Yeah.
randomly.
Sure. You get to know the actual person that's you're getting the commission from, and then just kind of go from there and see what the vision and talk and communicate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say, I mean, before I even get a brush going
Yeah.
Right.
at all. It, it's an agreed upon design.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that's how, like, even with Christine, it was, here, like all this stuff, like it's like, okay, this is what we're looking, so we come up with the design that we want, that we agree with, that she like she would agree with and she wants and everything. And I'll kind of send like a mock design.
Yes, he's awesome like
here's-
that. Let me tell you, he's an easy person to work with. He'll give you an idea, a couple different things. He's done stuff for the library that way. It's a really easy way to work with EJ.
Right.
He's just phenomenal that way.
It's cool.
So I have a question for you though. If somebody wants to get a commission from you in the future, are there any ways to get in touch with you? What would you say?
Yeah, good question. The main thing I would probably say is feel free to reach out to me, like on Facebook, at Ernest the Artist. I'll see
Ernest
that.
the artist, guys. Can't
Um,
forget that.
There have
right?
been people, interesting enough,
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I mean, that's the funny thing is,
It's easy to remember.
It is.
I have not, up until I came to Minot.
Uh-huh.
I was never EJ until I
EJ,
came
yeah,
to Minot.
yeah.
Actually,
Really?
interesting enough, yeah. Like my whole childhood, whatever, like back east, we'll say,
yeah.
because I'm named after my grandfather.
Sure.
Okay.
Which, by the way, is why when if you ever, that's the one thing I kind of I don't want to say like it's the one thing that I feel strongly about is on any painting I do, with the exception of two. But in the bottom right hand corner, I always sign it, you know. But if you ever see my signature, it's my last name. It's Rose. It looks
Rose.
like
Yep.
it looks a little weird, but it's Rose with the Roman numeral 2.
Sure.
I love my Roman numeral 2.
Yep.
The only two
I was
paintings-
wondering about that because when I see your signatures on some of the artwork I've seen, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? I'm like, is this like?
Yeah. It's if you look
Yeah.
enough, interesting
Thanks
enough,
for letting me
one
know
of the
now.
two that I didn't sign on the bottom right, well, happens to be there. So I didn't sign this one on the bottom right,
Uh-huh.
just to keep it, you know, kind of. But
Sign it back though.
but if you look at it, you'll see the R, the O, the S, and the E.
Okay.
You know, and then of course my Roman numeral 2. But I don't even know where I was going with the story, other than the fact that I was
You weren't being
growing-
called EJ.
Yeah,
That's what you're
yeah.
saying,
So it was, you know, my name is Ernest Joseph Rose II, after my grandfather,
Yep.
and so growing up, you know, Ernest is Ernie. So I was always a Sesame Street character.
Oh my goodness!
You know.
He never said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was always Ernie, which, you know, of course, when you're, you know, I mean, I came here when I was 21.
Right.
Mhm.
So my first 21 years, you know, I mean, Ernie is just not really like, even at 52 years old now,
Sure.
I
Yeah.
still kind of feel, okay,
Right.
maybe Ernie might fit now, but
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But so I came in, I was at the Air Force Base, and I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, you know, I don't know this town, I don't know these
Right.
people, I
Mhm.
don't know, like, you
Sure.
guys didn't grow up with me,
Sure.
they're not my family.
You can
they're
be who
not-
you want to be now.
Right.
So, but I also felt really weird. Like, I mean, being called Rose was normal because I was in
Yeah.
sports too.
Sure.
Yeah.
But as far as first names go, like, in a weird way, I had this stupid little attitude way back when. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna have people call, like, these people don't know me. They can't call me. They weren't allowed to call me Ernie.
Right.
So EJ is what it was from that point forward. You know, my wife and I even joke about it because one time she called me Ernie before we started dating, like, you know. And I kind of gave her a little bit of it. Now I don't care what people call me.
Yeah.
I really don't
Yeah.
care. It doesn't matter. I laugh at it now, you know. But yeah, EJ, you know, and you know, it's funny to hear anything other than EJ at
Sure.
this point, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna embrace my actual name, and Ernest the Artist just seemed to
It fits you.
fit.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yes.
like it. I like it. Yeah. Yeah.
So awesome, guys. I mean, I think I don't know. All I know is that this guy has been a really instrumental force behind a lot of the art and connections.
Mhm.
And that's what it's about. Like I met you
Right.
through other people.
Mhm.
I met you through someone else. And that's the thing about Minot, guys. Like if you have never been here, if you do need to get to know people, start talking to people and then someone can connect you because
Whatever
Dakota.
your like is, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
Like I asked in our interview with Dakota, um, how did you have your sense of community? He got here when he was 2, but then he found his group and it seemed to navigate. I mean, you clearly found your group. I just I was doing theater actually first before I really did food, and then I did food, and then I just found everybody. So
Get involved with something constructive.
yeah, and find something that you're passionate about because then the other you guys are gonna gravitate towards each other. I think that's what I do really like about Minot is that there's people I still haven't met yet. And I'm like,
Right.
it's not a huge town, but it feels larger than it is.
Right.
But it's all connected. And we
Yeah.
try to help each other no matter what. I think that's the best part about all of this.
Right.
And I also say, Christine, thank you as well for, being as supportive of and I'm not even talking just individually myself, but just, in the art community, even besides just myself, like Dakota would be a good example as well. And I know other things that you have going on that's definitely going to be supportive of community that, when that time
Thank
comes.
you. I appreciate that.
Um,
I appreciate that. I sometimes I see things that are just, very important for the community that maybe people don't identify. And if I'm able to isolate it and just kind of bring it as an idea forward, because I see it like ahead. I'm like, how could that affect something in the future? It's not trending. It's not like cool and hip or
Right.
fad. It's more like I see that there's a need. And how do we get that need so we can get those people to gravitate towards that? Because I think some of the things what you're thinking about, I know what it is that's coming up next. It's a busy summer for me, I'll tell you that. And I know for you,
Yeah.
Mr. Citizen of the
yeah, that's right. And congratulations.
yeah, I mean,
Neighbor of the year.
yeah, you're like the neighbor citizen. You're like the man of the year here, in my opinion, because really, I mean, he does so much behind the scenes that we can't celebrate right now. But we've talked about it when we first did our opening
Mhm.
episode, which this is where people are going to get to know everybody. So, you know, we're all busy, but
Yeah.
we still help each other. And thank you guys too for helping me because this wouldn't happen. Because literally, like I'm just texting and calling, hey guys, we got to get together and do this. Are you
Right.
okay with that? The timeline, it's not my deadline. And you know, so I appreciate
No,
everyone.
EJ, you did a phenomenal job.
Yes,
It's
this
pretty
is
cool that your
beautiful.
art lives in this town,
Yeah.
you know, and it's
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think it's cool that this town lives within the art as well, you
Right.
know, and see the shows, the performances,
Yes.
the theater shows, the concerts,
We have
you know,
sports. We
yeah,
have
go to the exhibits.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of the culture here. You know, and again, it goes well beyond just me as an individual, but you know, yeah, go do the alley
walk.
street walk thing, you know, and there's going to be more to come there.
Mike's really got. I mean, during the winter, you've got hockey. You know,
Yep.
you've got got baseball coming up. You know
We have ice skating downtown
ice
now.
skating downtown. I mean,
And in
there's
Silta Mesa, yeah.
yeah, there's just so much to do.
Yeah, there's also the symphony. I mean, we have so much.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and summer theater.
Yep.
Don't even talk about summer theater.
Right.
That's a majestical like place to go
Yeah.
to see theater.
But it just isn't mine. I mean, it's also Granville, Velva.
Yeah, and all the surrounding towns. I mean, we
Bertha,
have,
up to the Canadian border.
and
There's
that's
20-mile
where,
swath around Minot. There's something to do.
and that's where what I would love to find out where we can start bringing those ideas here, so people can say, okay, if you want to take a day trip there,
Right.
because that's really easy. I mean, since we've lived here, I mean, I know I go to Bismarck for a day, and I'm like, oh, that's easy now. I didn't understand it when I first moved
Right.
here, but it's kind of like you don't get that until you live here. So
Sure.
Granville's not
Yeah.
far, you know,
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
Even Burlington, it's like next door.
Yeah.
If you go to the Pioneer Village now,
Right.
because they relocated it out
Yes.
that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a nice day trip
Yeah, it
just for
is.
the whole day.
Yeah.
It's not even far. When I say day trip, I'm not talking about sitting in the car.
No,
I'm
it's
talking about
10
staying
minutes.
there for like the day and
Yeah.
enjoying all the old time Pioneer Village.
And you know, I remember, you know, I made a comment one time because someone was saying, you know, well, if anyone says there's nothing to do in Minot, I'll say it that way. You know, if someone says there's nothing to do in Minot, it's because they're doing nothing in Minot.
I agree.
There you go.
We're going to
Yes, I
finish
like
on that note, guys.
Yes.
So listen to EJ, okay? So listen, it was a pleasure having you on. I'm so happy that you were able to tell some of your stories, some stuff
Yes.
I learned. I mean, it's
Yes.
just
Thank you, EJ.
yeah, and you're such a treasure to have in this community. And just keep up the good art and keep up the good work and sharing and yeah, and that's it. Anything else you want to
I
talk
got
about on
nothing.
this
Thank you.
episode?
Yeah. It's episode
No.
number 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you
Glory
so
to-
much. Yeah. Well, guys, we'll put his stuff on the bottom of this post and then please feel free to share and like and subscribe of whatever we have going on here. And if there's any people you want us to talk to, things you want to see, please feel free to reach out. And yeah, we look forward to talking more, guys, and chatting and chilling and hanging out.
Chat and chilling. Thank you.
Corey, Christine, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
EJ.
Have a good one, guys.
That's the magic to me. M-I-N-O-T, now you see. Life ain't always just what you dream. It's the way that you make those things reality.